How to start your own house flipping business. What's going on, friends? It's Sam Kwok, your real estate investor coach and mentor, and in this video I want to share with you guys how to start your own house flipping business. Now, you might be brand new, you're just getting started, you're interested, you're excited, and you might have watched HGTV and you're feeling really inspired about starting your own house flipping business as well. So I will tell you that this business is very, very lucrative and very profitable, but at the same time, you gotta understand that there's a lot of risk to it financially and also legal-wise. There are things that you can do that can actually get you in trouble in terms of law. So I want you guys to be prepared, educated, and you guys understand the different things in the real estate investing world so that you guys don't go out there and just hog wild and get in trouble and lose a ton of money, because that could really, really happen. And I've seen many, many people who've gone into real estate, tried to do their first flip and ended up losing a ton of money and never went back to finish their projects and never really went back to the industry in the first place. So I want you guys to get educated, to get prepared, because a lot of what I'm going to say is real. I wish a lot of things that happened to a lot of people that I knew were just practice. But guys, take the time in learning, right? Take the time in getting yourself educated, because making that one mistake is going to cost you more than the time and the price that you pay to get educated. Okay, so that's really, really important, and I can't stress that enough, because there's a lot of people who in my life have suffered a loss from not getting prepared in this real estate investing world. So in real estate investing world, there are different strategies. Fix and flip is definitely one of them. Buy and hold, being a landlord, notes. You can get into wholesaling, which is a strategy to fix and flipping. So I want to talk about that a little bit. But those are the main strategies that you can use, and you might be interested in. And who knows, doing your first flip, you might not even like it. You might be more inclined to doing landlording. You might be more inclined to doing notes. And I hope that my YouTube channel is going to help you figure out really and get to know yourself a little more about who you are as an investor. What type of investing does appeal to me, and what works for you, right? Some of the things that in the real estate investing world doesn't work for me, right? I definitely do not like short sales. They're not short. I don't know who named it, but short sales are definitely not for me. But fix and flips, buy and hold, and tax liens are definitely something that I could do all day long and make a ton of money at. So I'm going to go and talk to you guys about basic overviews of starting your own fix and flip business today. And I'm not going to get too much into details, which, by the way, I will spiral this video into a whole another series where I'm going to go and talk about each of the things that I'm going to talk about today right now. So things like ARV, how to calculate market price, what's fair market value on a property, how to do your comps, how to raise money, right? That's a huge, huge topic. And some of you guys might be interested in taking that training, because no money might equal to no deals, but sometimes I could prove that wrong. I can actually show you how to find real estate deals, get into and get out without any money being involved. So I will show you how to do real estate deals without your own credit or money, but at the same time, I'll show you how to raise money so that it's more, there's an ease of access getting into deals rather than trying to figure it out in a creative way. But in fact, I feel like creative real estate investing is far more superior, because you can go in without any money and come out with a ton of IRRs and a ton of profit that you can generate. Definitely possible, but I'm going to show you guys how. So I'll go and spiral into a whole nother video series to do and cover the details of some of these moving parts to the investment strategy, right? So in my whiteboard here today, I'm going to show you guys a hypothetical real estate deal that I may find. In fact, I'll go create a whole nother video where I'll go and walk in through an actual real estate deal that I'm working on. So an actual fix and flip deal that I will show you and show you guys what's going into it, what types of repair, what to look for, and how much you should do, how much of repair should you be doing in comparison to your local market. Which, by the way, before I go on, make sure you understand your market number. What I mean by that is I work off of Chicago numbers, right? Chicago numbers is going to be different from Florida numbers. It's going to be different from Michigan numbers. It's going to be different from California numbers. So do your due diligence as far as what is typical in your market. And that's something that most of the gurus aren't going to talk about. A lot of the infomercials out there, they're not going to say, do your due diligence in your local market. Some will, but some will not, right? So I'm gonna be one of the first few people to tell you, do your due diligence as far as where you are in your market. And if you live in Chicago, great, you can work off of my own numbers. But again, still, it depends on where you are in Chicago, right? If you're in 60621 on Englewood side, yeah, the number is going to look really, really different, right? Versus 60625 and towards Chicago. So be mindful of where you are and understand that different markets play with different numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead and put together a hypothetical situation here. So I'm going to use blue to get started. Now, calculating ARV, I'll go ahead and put together another video on that. But an ARV stands for after repair value. So our after repair value is basically the number, the price that we were going to be able to sell it for after we finish doing the repair and the rehab. So make sure you understand that number. That's going to be your key term. So let's say our ARV for this given property is about $200,000. Okay, so we have $200,000 property ARV. So after we paint it, we make it look really nice. We got a new cabinet in there, new toilet, new bathtub. With all that being done, we know we're going to be close to $200,000. Now, if you're in a range, if you're calculating this within a range, always take the lower numbers. So if let's say you're working with a real estate agent, competent real estate agent that says, yeah, the ARV is going to be anywhere between 180 to 240, right? Don't go with the middle, go with the lowest number, because even on the downside, right? Even on the very low side, if you know you can make money, you know you can make money on $220,000. That's an extra 40 grand in profit that you can take away. But if you decide to take the 220 and all of a sudden, bam, you sell your house for 200, then you lost $220,000 of calculated profit. So always take the lower money. Always be fiscally conservative when you're calculating the deals. Don't try to fudge with the numbers and make your ARV all look nice and pretty. No. Be real. Call it like it is. Don't fudge with the ARV, because if the deal doesn't work, don't force it, right? Do not force a deal to make it work. So we got $200,000 ARV. That's what we know we can sell for. That's the lowest number we can take. That's being conservative, right? Be super conservative about your numbers. Now, let's say our repair estimate came to be about $30,000. So repairs, okay? And with repairs, it's all going to depend on who your contractor is going to be, what your relationship to that contractor is going to be as well, and also understanding what types of repair do you need in your given market. Because if you're in a low income side, low income housing, you don't want to necessarily put in the nicest granite countertop. You don't want to put in brushed nickel everything, right? You want to go light with the rehab when it comes to when it comes to that kind of housing, right? If you're talking about a little bit more affluent areas, you got higher income, a median income in the town, the neighborhood, then yeah, you want to upgrade to granite countertops. You want to go with travertine tiles. You want to go all out, almost all out, to the point where the buyers in that neighborhood are going to be interested in your property and they're going to buy it. So keep in mind, don't overdo your property. Don't put the shiniest thing on the property. Always go with what's acceptable to your local market. So we put in $30,000 repairs in, and one of the things that I see that a lot of the gurus out there don't talk about is holding costs. Holding costs is your utilities, right? You got to turn on the lights while you're doing the rehab, right? Especially during the winter time. Heating, right? Water, right? You got to make sure your contractors are getting water in there. You want to make sure you got your taxes, right? That's another thing that you should be looking at. I did make a video called 5 Things That You Should Always Know Before Doing Any Real Estate Deal. Do check it out. And that's a huge thing on how to find the taxes, right, to your given county and your given property. So we got to factor in holding costs. So let's say we're holding this about 6 months, because I always go to 6 months number, because you never know, the market might shift and all of a sudden I'm holding this property for 4 more months when I only anticipated 2. So I put in 6 months worth of holding costs just to be more safe. So let's say that we're putting about $12,000 of holding costs, right? And holding. So that's your taxes, utility. That could be, I mean, little things like, hey, you need to buy a new air filter, right? Little things like that is all going to hold into that. Now let's now calculate the price of purchase, or the goal, what our goal is going to be for our purchase, right? So if we want to make at least $30,000 profit into that, right? So let's say we're going to put in 20. Let's see. Let's be more profitable here. So $30,000 worth of profit. We want to be able to create that number, right? So that's our profit. Now, also on top of profit, I like to put in what's called an oops cost, right? So this is something that I put in there just in case. Let's say we tore up a drywall and all of a sudden, wham! There's a whole patch of molding. We need to be able to fix it. Or let's say we tear up the roof and all of a sudden we're missing sheathing or something, right? I'm gonna put in $5,000 in there, just as our oops cost. Okay, that's so that if there's something that I discover that is going to be a little more costly than I anticipated, I can always take the money out of the oops cost budget, and bam, we got our challenge taken care of. So if we want $30,000 profit on this deal, then we got to work the numbers backwards. So 35. We got 35 here, 47, right? 47 and 77. So we got 77,000 worth of expenses, or 77,000 expenses minus 30,000 profits. So we got $47,000 worth of expenses out of the entire calculations that we did here. So with the $200,000 ARV subtracting the $77,000, we get about $123,000, right? So that is our target purchase price. So if you want $30,000 profit out of this deal, we gotta have it within no more than $123,000, right? So is it possible to go lower than $123,000 with good negotiation skills? Yeah, sure. So if we go lower than 100, let's say we were able to buy this property for $110,000, right? So we actually made $13,000 extra on our profit, right? If all these numbers being consistent. So if we know that repairs are going to stay at $30,000, and that's the conservative side, meaning even if it's going to cost heaven and earth, it's going to cost you $30,000 to repair, then yeah, that's a good number to stay with. So with the purchase price, how you negotiate is going to matter if you have good negotiation skills. One thing to remember is that you make money when you purchase the real estate deal, not when you sell it. When you walk into the deal, you should have already had this number all laid out right there on the spot, right? So today, I never go into a single real estate deal, especially a fix and flip, without having these numbers calculated in my head somewhere, and then actually walking in from there. So I need to know what the end is going to look like, right? Never walk into a real estate deal without knowing your exit strategy and what is your outcome going to be. So know that number in your head, right? Know that outcome. And if you don't know these numbers, you're going to be led by the numbers, right? The real estate deal is going to be owning you, not you owning the real estate deal. Does that make sense? So you want to have the number in your head calculated, go through this analysis, and understand if this is a good deal or not a good deal. And remember, this is something that I see a lot of beginners and new real estate investors run into, is they try to fudge with the ARV to make the real estate deal work, right? Do not do that, because you're losing money if you're trying to fantasize the ARV into something that's not, okay? If the ARV doesn't work with the given calculations, and if you know for a fact that the purchase price is not going to come out to be that way, then yeah, don't do the real estate deal, right? Don't do it, because you're going to lose money. And if the market and the numbers are telling you one thing, but your heart is telling you another, listen to the numbers first and then listen to the heart. Okay, so I just showed you guys the basic fundamental analysis on a fix and flip deal, right? So for those who are brand new, you might not understand each of the numbers and the details of it all. So like I said, I'll go ahead and start a whole nother video series to show you guys how to calculate ARVs, how to estimate the repairs, how to estimate the holding costs, and how to raise money, right? How to also build business credit. That's a whole other topic that we can get into. That's going to help you a lot getting into real estate deals, right? And so I'll cover those videos in the coming weeks, and you'll see it. So those are the video series that I'm going to go and create, and you'll see them if you're subscribed to my channel. For those who are not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to them, because I'll go and share a ton of information, how to raise money, right? That's the biggest challenge that I'm seeing with new investors, how to negotiate, how to run these numbers. So all those videos are going to be coming out very soon. So do subscribe to my channel, and I'll show you guys the details of calculating all these numbers and doing other things like raising money and negotiating. That's going to help you start your fix and flip business. Now, I'm also looking for qualified trainees to work with me on a side-by-side level. So if you're interested in getting qualified to work with me as a trainee and a partner, go to investorcoaching.info. I am looking for qualified candidates to go into the process and work with me, and I can personally mentor and coach you along the way. So go to investorcoaching.info. I'll throw the video down in the link on the video right here. You'll be able to see it. And always, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them down below, and I'll answer them for you guys as soon as possible. All right, thanks for watching, guys.